Tara Webb sat across from Kate Allen in a small restaurant tucked away from the busy city streets. The candlelight flickered between them, casting warm shadows that danced across their faces. Kate was still processing everything she had learned the night before about Tara, her true form, her mission and her origins among the stars. "I have so many questions," said Kate, stirring her untouched tea. Tara nodded, her perception filter back in place, making her appear human in the public setting. "Ask me anything. I am permitted to share almost everything with you now." Kate leaned forward. "Where exactly do you come from?" "Xanthia is the third planet in the Vexora system, approximately 27 light-years from Earth," Tara explained. "My people have been observing your planet for nearly 2 centuries, but only recently decided to send representatives to live among humans." "How many of you are there on Earth?" asked Kate, her eyes wide. Tara hesitated. 12 others, but we are stationed in different regions and rarely communicate to maintain objectivity in our observations." Kate reached across the table and placed her hand over Tara's. "So you've been completely alone for 3 years." The warmth of Kate's touch sent a pleasant ripple through Tara's true skin beneath the perception filter. "Yes. Our mission requires isolation to prevent contamination of the study." But she paused, looking directly into Kate's eyes. "I believe that was a flawed approach. We cannot truly understand humanity without connections." Later that evening, they walked along the river that cut through the heart of the city. The night air was cool, and Tara felt more comfortable in the darkness where her occasional filter fluctuations were less noticeable. Kate had asked dozens of questions about Xanthian culture, technology, and biology. Tara had answered each one, finding surprising relief in finally sharing her knowledge. "Your world sounds beautiful," said Kate, as they stopped to watch the moonlight shimmer on the water. "It is, but in different ways than Earth," Tara explained. "Our cities are built within living crystal formations that grow and change. The colors would overwhelm human vision. The harmonics would vibrate your bones. But yes, it is beautiful. Do you miss it?" Tara considered the question it had been asked of her in training: how to respond to humans who might inquire about homesickness. The official answer was that Xanthians did not experience emotional attachments to locations, but standing beside Kate, watching the river flow beneath the moon, Tara found herself unwilling to recite the programmed response. "Yes," she admitted. "I miss the crystal spires, the triple moons, the connection pools, where my people share thoughts and emotions directly." But she turned to Kate, finding courage in the darkness. "I have found beauty here too. Things I never expected." Kate stepped closer, their shoulders touching. "What happens when your mission ends?" The question hung between them, heavy with implications. Tara had avoided thinking about it. Her assignment would conclude in 8 more months. Then she would return to Xanthia, submit her findings, and another representative would likely take her place. "I am scheduled to return home next spring," she said, finally. Something shifted in Kate's expression, a shadow crossing her features. "Will you? I mean, can you stay?" "No one has ever requested to extend their mission," Tara replied. "It has never been considered. What if you did ask to stay?" Kate pressed. "What would happen?" "I don't know," Tara admitted truthfully. "The Council values the mission highly. If I could present a compelling reason." Kate nodded but didn't push further. They continued walking in silence, each lost in their own thoughts. The next morning, Tara broke protocol. She used her communication device to contact her supervisor, a direct violation of guidelines that specified monthly reports only. The quantum encrypted message was brief, but would send ripples through the Council. Request clarification on mission parameters regarding human relationships, experiencing unexpected developments that may influence findings. She sent it knowing the response would not be immediate. Even with Xanthian technology, communication across light years took time. Kate was working when Tara arrived at the coffee shop. Her face brightened at the sight of the alien disguised as a tall, reserved woman. "Do you want your usual?" she asked. "Something different today," suggested Tara. "I would like to try what you recommend," Kate grinned, adventurous. "I like it. She prepared a drink with whipped cream and caramel. The sweetness will be intense, but I think you'll like it. Tara accepted the drink, their fingers brushing in the exchange. She had studied human courtship rituals as part of her cultural research, but experiencing them firsthand was entirely different. The subtle signals, the physiological responses, the unspoken communications. They fascinated her in ways her academic understanding had not prepared her for. After Kate's shift, they spent the afternoon in the city park, Tara sharing more about Zenthian culture, and Kate describing her childhood in a small town. Tara found herself captivated by Kate's stories of simple human experiences, family dinners, school, dances, summer vacations. These were the details missing from the formal studies, the emotional context that gave meaning to human behavior. "What does your family think about your mission?" asked Kate as they sat beneath a large oak tree. "We don't have families as humans understand them," Tara explained. "Zenthians are communally raised. Our genetic contributors provide biological material but not parental care. My closest equivalent to family would be my creche group. 7 others who were developed, alongside me." "That sounds lonely to human ears," said Kate. Tara considered this. It was not lonely by Zenthian standards, but she understood Kate's perspective. The individualized, intensive emotional bonds humans formed with their biological relatives were both fascinating and confusing to her species. "I never felt lacking until I began to understand human connections," she admitted. "But now I see the value in your way as well." "The depth it creates," Kate smiled. "That might be the nicest thing anyone has ever said about my messy human family." That evening, Tara invited Kate to her apartment. It was a risk not only to her mission, but to the perception humans had of her building. She had modified the space to accommodate her Zenthian needs. The lighting was dimmer, the temperature several degrees warmer than humans typically preferred. The furniture was minimal, as she rarely used it, preferring to rest in the suspension hammock that hung in the center of the main room. Kate walked around, taking everything, and her eyes lingered on the strange devices scattered throughout the space: the modified computer systems, the atmospheric regulators, the nutrient processor. "So this is how an alien lives on Earth," she said with a small smile. Tara felt suddenly self-conscious. "This is not typical." "I had to adapt." Kate approached the large window that dominated one wall. The view of the night sky was extraordinary from this height. "Is this why you chose this apartment?" "The stars, yes," admitted Tara. "I find comfort in seeing them." "Can I see you?" she asked quietly. The real you, Tara hesitated, then reached for the perception filter at the base of her neck. With a small click, the device deactivated. The air around her shimmered as her true form was revealed. 7 feet, tall, with luminescent blue skin that pulsed with subtle patterns. Her tendrils framed her face, moving gently in response to her emotions, her eyes large and violet without whites or pupils, her limbs longer, more graceful than her human disguise. A loud Kate's breath caught, but not in fear. She approached slowly, her eyes taking in every detail. "You said your skin changes colors with your emotions. What are you feeling right now?" Tara felt her skin respond before she could control it. Ripples of rose gold spreading across her azure surface. The colors of affection, vulnerability, hope. She had not intended to reveal so much. Kate noticed the color change. "What does that mean?" she asked, pointing to the rose gold patterns. "It means I am experiencing emotions that were not anticipated in my mission parameters," Tara replied honestly. Kate stepped closer, reaching up to touch Tara's face. The tendrils responded, curling gently around her fingers, in a gesture of trust. "I think I am too," she whispered. The communication device in Tara's bedroom chimed an incoming message from the council. But for the first time since her arrival on Earth, Tara did not immediately respond to her superiors. Something more important was happening. Something that would change the course of her mission and perhaps relations between their species. Forever, Kate stood on tiptoe and Tara bent down. The kiss was gentle, experimental. A meeting of 2 beings from different worlds finding something unexpected in each other. Tara's skin illuminated the room with swirls of brilliant color as Kate pulled her closer. Whatever the council decided, Whatever the mission protocols dictated, Tara knew with certainty that nothing would ever be the same again. The study of humanity had become personal in ways no Zenthian scientist had ever anticipated. And as Kate smiled up at her, Tara realized that she had discovered something her people had never included in their research parameters: the transformative power of human connection. The council response arrived 3 days later. Tara stared at the message, her tendrils drooping with concern. The formal language did little to mask the alarm her superiors felt. Representative Webb, your report indicates potential compromise of mission parameters. Clarify nature of human relationship immediately. Reminder that mission objective is observation only. No intervention, no emotional entanglement. Your immediate extraction will be arranged if contamination is confirmed. Tara closed the message, her skin darkening to deep indigo, the Zenthian color of distress. She had known this would be their reaction, but seeing it confirmed made the situation real. She faced an impossible choice between duty and the growing connection with Kate. That evening, Kate arrived at Tara's apartment carrying a small bag. Her smile faltered when she saw Tara's human form looking troubled. "What's wrong?" she asked, setting down her things. Tara deactivated her perception filter, revealing her true blue form pulsing. "With distressed colors, my superiors have responded. They are concerned about our relationship." Kate sat on the edge of the suspension hammock. It swayed gently under her weight. "What exactly are they concerned about?" "Emotional contamination of the study," Tara explained, pacing the room, her long limbs moving with alien grace. "Zenthians value objectivity above all else in scientific observation. My growing feelings for you compromise that objectivity." "And what happens if you continue seeing me?" asked Kate, her voice calm but her hands twisting nervously in her lap. Tara stopped pacing. "If I continue this relationship against orders, they will extract me from Earth immediately. My replacement would be instructed to avoid all contact with you." Kate's face paled. "Extract sounds painful." Tara moved to sit beside her in the hammock, careful to balance their weights. "No, not physically painful. They would simply send a retrieval ship. I would be required to return to Zenthia." "So what will you do?" Kate asked, the question hanging between them. "I have been considering an alternative solution," said Tara, her tendrils moving with agitation. "I could propose a modification to the study, a new approach that includes close observation of human relationships through direct experience." "Do you think they'd accept that?" Tara made a gesture with her long fingers that approximated a human shrug. "It has never been attempted. But I believe I can make a scientific case for it. My preliminary findings suggest that understanding human emotional connections is crucial to evaluating your species for potential alliance." Kate reached out, touching one of Tara's tendrils. It curled affectionately around her finger. "And if they say no, then I have a decision to make," said Tara. Simply, they spent the evening together. Kate had brought a movie to watch, something she called a classic romantic comedy. Tara found the human humor strange but fascinating. The concept of misunderstandings leading to comedic situations rather than diplomatic incidents was novel. The physical affection displayed between the characters made her skin ripple with colors of curiosity and interest. After the movie, they talked late into the night, Kate sharing stories of past relationships, explaining the complex emotions involved. Tara describing Zenthian bonding practices which were based more on intellectual compatibility and genetic diversity than emotional connection. "You mean Zenthians don't fall in love?" asked Kate, lying beside Tara in the hammock there. "Bodies carefully aligned. We form attachments, but they are different," Tara explained, watching the ceiling. "My people value harmony, compatibility, shared purpose. We do not have a concept that precisely matches human love with its intensity and irrationality." Kate turned to look at her. "Do you think you could ever experience love the human way?" Tara was silent for a long moment, her skin shifting through thoughtful patterns of green and purple. "I am beginning to believe I already am," she admitted finally. The next morning, Tara sent her response to the council. She spent hours crafting it, carefully balancing scientific reasoning with the truth of her experience. "Respectfully suggest mission parameters require adjustment. Human relationships appear central, to their society and cannot be fully understood through observation alone. My controlled experiment with limited emotional engagement has yielded valuable insights. Previously unrecorded request permission to continue with modified protocols and increased reporting frequency. She sent the message knowing it would be days before she received a reply. In the meantime, she would continue her work and her relationship with Kate. She would gather data proving that her new approach had merit. Kate had invited her to dinner with friends, a significant step in human relationships. Tara understood. The thought of meeting more humans in a social setting made her nervous, but she recognized the anthropological value several humans interacting would provide rich observational data. She could justify it to the council if needed. The restaurant was busier than Tara expected. The noise level immediately set her on edge. Human hearing was less sensitive than Zenthian. Kate noticed her discomfort and led her to a quieter corner where 3 people waited at a table. "Everyone, this is Tara." Kate introduced her. "Tara. These are my friends Beth, Sam, and Lily." Tara nodded, carefully maintaining her human perception filter. Beth had curly red hair and a quick smile. Sam was tall with dark skin and kind eyes. Lily was petite with an artistic look and colorful clothes. They all greeted her with varying degrees of curiosity. "So how did you two meet?" asked Beth after they ordered food. Kate smiled at Tara. "She came to my coffee shop every day for months before I finally got her to talk to me." Tara nodded. "That is accurate. I was not accustomed to casual human interaction." Sam laughed. "You make it sound like you're an alien or something." Tara felt a moment of panic before realizing it was a joke. Kate squeezed her hand under the table. "Tara is an astronomer," she explained smoothly. "She spends more time with stars than people." The conversation flowed around her. Tara observed the human friendship dynamics, noting the shared references to past experiences, the nonverbal communications. She recorded mental notes for her research, but more than that, she found herself enjoying the evening. The humans were welcoming, including her in their jokes, explaining references she didn't understand, asking about her work with genuine interest. By dessert, she had relaxed enough to contribute to the conversation, sharing sanitized versions of Zenthian astronomical knowledge that would not reveal her true nature. Kate watched her with pride as she explained the star patterns visible from Earth later as they walked home. Kate linked her arm through Tara's. "You were amazing," she said. "They loved you." Tara felt a warm glow of satisfaction that had nothing to do with her mission. "What did you tell them about me before we met?" Kate looked up at her. "I told them you were brilliant and fascinating and important to me. That's all they needed to know." Something shifted in Tara's understanding of humans in that moment. The easy acceptance, the lack of suspicion, the immediate inclusion in their group based solely on Kate's vouching for her. It was not a behavior her species had observed in their previous studies of humanity. The Zenthian reports had documented human tribalism, suspicion of outsiders, competitive hierarchies. But here she had experienced something different. Trust extended through association, belonging offered without demanding proof of worthiness. It was beautiful and unexpected. When they reached Tara's apartment, Kate stayed again. They were establishing a pattern of shared nights, some at Kate's smaller apartment, some here. Tara had adapted her living space, adding human comforts, a proper bed, softer lighting, a refrigerator stocked with human food as they prepared for sleep. Tara's communication device chimed. A response from the council already much faster than expected. Her tendrils stiffened with anxiety as she opened the message request. Denied emotional entanglement with subject species compromises entire mission. Return to standard protocols immediately. Failure to comply will result in immediate extraction and mission failure. Tara sank onto the bed, her skin dulling to a flat gray, the color of despair. Kate sat beside her. "What is it? They have denied my request." Tara said, her voice hollow. "They order me to end our relationship." Kate was quiet for a long moment. "What will you do?" Tara looked at her, the human woman who had changed everything. The logical choice. was clear. Comply with orders, complete the mission, return to Xanthia with her data, the responsible choice for her people for the potential alliance between worlds. But something had changed in her. Something fundamentally Xanthian yet influenced by human connection. She thought of Kate, of her friends, of the quiet moments and loud laughter they had shared. She thought of returning to the cool, logical world of her people where such connections were studied but never truly experienced. I need time to consider, Tara said finally. This is not a simple decision. Kate nodded, understanding in her eyes. Whatever you decide. Here that night, Tara did not sleep. She watched Kate resting peacefully beside her and contemplated choices that no Xanthian representative had ever faced before her mission or her heart, the path laid out for her, or one she would forge herself, the security of certainty, or the wild unknown territory of human love. By morning she had made her decision. I choose to continue my mission my way, Tara announced as Kate awoke. Her skin pulsed with determined gold tones. I will not end our relationship, but I will also not abandon my responsibilities to my people. Kate sat up, rubbing sleep from her eyes. What does that mean exactly? It means I will continue gathering data and sending reports, but I will omit details of our relationship. Tara explained, I will demonstrate through my findings that emotional connection enhances understanding rather than compromises it, but won't they know? Asked Kate. You said there are other Xanthians on Earth. Tara moved to the window looking out at the morning sky. We rarely communicate and never in the same location. I have time before they would discover my disobedience. Kate joined her at the window, wrapping an arm around Tara's waist. And what happens when your mission ends? Will you still have to leave? That bridge we will cross when we reach it, said Tara, using a human expression she had learned. I have approximately 7 months remaining. Perhaps by then I will have convinced them of the value in what I am doing, or perhaps not, Kate said softly. Tara turned, facing Kate, her tendrils reaching to gently touch the human's face. I cannot promise what will happen, but I can promise that whatever comes next, you have changed me in ways that cannot be undone. No matter where I am in the universe, that will remain true. Kate leaned into the touch, closing her eyes. For now, that has to be enough. The following weeks established a new normal. Tara continued her official observations during the day, gathering data for her reports to the council. In the evenings and on weekends, she spent time with Kate and occasionally her friends. She maintained her human disguise in public, but in private she was increasingly comfortable in her true form. Kate had begun learning Xanthian color language, the subtle patterns and hues that expressed emotions far more complex than human words could capture. She couldn't see all the wavelengths Tara's skin produced, but she was becoming adept at reading the main emotional tones. You're worried again, Kate said one evening as they cooked dinner together in Kate's apartment. She pointed to the indigo ripples crossing Tara's blue skin. Tara sighed, impressed by Kate's perception. Yes, the council has requested additional data on human political structures. I am finding it difficult to present objective analysis when I now understand the emotional underpinnings. Kate stirred the pasta sauce, a human food that Tara had grown to enjoy. Maybe that's the point. Your understanding is deeper now, not compromised. Tara considered this. Perhaps. But Xanthian science does not value subjective understanding in the same way. Well, Xanthian science is missing out on half the picture then, Kate said matter-of-factly. How can you truly understand a species without understanding what drives them emotionally? This conversation stuck with Tara. As she compiled her next report, she included a separate section, labeled Subjective Contextual Observations. It was a small act of rebellion, including emotional context alongside the traditional objective data, but she felt it was necessary for a complete picture. Weeks passed. The Earth moved into winter. The city, covered in snow, a phenomenon that fascinated Tara. Xanthia had no weather patterns like this, no frozen precipitation that transformed landscapes overnight. Kate took her sledding, an activity that initially seemed pointless, but proved exhilarating. The feeling of sliding down the hill at speed, the cold air, the laughter, all of it created new patterns of joy on Tara's skin colors she had rarely experienced before. When they built snow sculptures in the park, Kate helped her craft a miniature version of a Zenthian crystal spire. The homesickness that briefly washed over Tara was tempered by the joy of sharing this piece of her world with Kate. "Do you think I'll ever see your home?" Kate asked, as they admired their creation. Tara hesitated. No human had ever visited Zenthia. It was not forbidden exactly, but had never been considered. "Would you want to?" Kate nodded, looking up at the gray winter sky. "To see the world that made you?" "Of course I would." The thought lingered with Tara. The possibility of Kate visiting Zenthia. What would her people think of this human? Would they see what she saw? The intelligence, the compassion, the creativity. Would they understand why she had chosen to defy orders? That night as Kate slept, Tara recorded a personal message separate from her official report. She addressed it to her creche sister Liana, the only one of her group who had shown interest in the emotional lives of other species. "I have discovered something unexpected on Earth," she began. "The humans' capacity for acceptance of difference exceeds our previous understanding. I have revealed my true nature to a human woman named Kate. She has responded, not with fear, but with curiosity and affection. This contradicts our assumptions about human xenophobia. At least in individual cases, I believe further study of human capacity for interspecies connection is warranted." She hesitated, then continued. "I must also report a personal development. I have experienced emotional attachment to this human. This was not intended but has become valuable to my understanding of the species. I would appreciate your thoughts on the implications, both scientific and personal." Tara sent the message knowing it was risky. Liana might report her to the council, but she needed an ally. Someone from her world who might understand what she was experiencing. A month passed with no response from either Liana or the council. Tara continued her work. Her reports became more insightful, drawing connections between human emotional bonds and societal structures that previous Zenthian observers had missed. Kate had moved many of her belongings into Tara's apartment. Though they maintained her smaller place for appearances, they essentially lived together now. "We're sharing a quiet evening, Tara, reading human literature while Kate painted at an easel by the window. Her current work was an abstract interpretation of the Zenthian crystal spires based on Tara's descriptions. The communications device chimed, startling them both. Tara approached it cautiously. It had been so long since Liana's message she had begun to think no response would come. The screen glowed with familiar Zenthian script, "Sister. I have received your message and kept your confidence, though it places me in a difficult position. Your findings about human capacity for acceptance are intriguing and worthy of further study. The Council would benefit from this knowledge. But I understand your reluctance to share the full context. I have reviewed your official reports and see the enhanced insights your emotional connection has provided. As for personal implications, I cannot advise you. The path you walk is unprecedented, but no, you are not forgotten." Here Tara read the message, twice relief washing over her in waves of light turquoise. Liana had not betrayed her. More than that, she seemed to understand, at least partially, what Tara was experiencing. "Good news?" asked Kate, setting down her paintbrush. Tara nodded, an ally among my people. "My creche sister Liana. She has received my message and kept my secret." Kate smiled, joining Tara on the couch. "That's wonderful. Does she understand about us?" "Not entirely," Tara admitted. "How could she?" "No. Zenthian has experienced this before, but she sees value in my work." That is something. Kate leaned against her, the human warmth pleasant against Tara's cooler skin. "Do you miss them, your creche siblings?" "Sometimes," Tara admitted. "We were designed to complement each other intellectually." Liana was always the most emotionally attuned of our group. She studied cultural expressions and artistic communications, while I focused on societal structures and governance. Kate looked up at her curiously. "Were you close the way human siblings are not?" "In the same way," Tara explained. "We did not have the concept of family bonds as humans understand them, but we shared formative experiences. There is a connection." The next morning brought an unexpected development. Tara's security systems alerted her to a Zenthian energy signature in the city. Another representative was nearby. This was highly unusual. The 12 other Zenthians on Earth were assigned to different regions, specifically to prevent overlap in their observations. Tara checked the signal again. It was definitely Zenthian and definitely moving through the downtown area just blocks from Kate's coffee shop. Her skin prickled with anxiety, rippling between alert orange and worried indigo. She activated her perception filter and left the apartment. Her official work could wait. This development required immediate investigation. If another representative had been sent to check on her, Tara walked briskly through the snowy streets, her enhanced senses scanning for the familiar energy patterns of her kind. The signal led her to a small park where a tall woman sat alone on a bench. Despite the cold, she wore only a light jacket. Her posture was too perfect, her movements too precise as she observed the humans walking past. Tara approached cautiously. The woman turned and their eyes met. Even through the perception filters, they recognized each other instantly. Liana, said Tara, her voice barely audible. The other Zenthian stood, her human disguise as flawless as Tara's but recognizable, to one who knew what to look for. Sister, she replied, I hope you are not displeased by my arrival. Tara glanced around, ensuring no humans were within earshot. Why are you here? The council. I came without council authorization, Liana explained. Your messages concerned me. I felt I needed to see for myself what you have discovered here. Tara stared at her Kresh sister, processing the implications. Liana had defied protocol, traveling to Earth without permission. This was unprecedented. A Zenthian acting independently of the collective decision. How did you even get here? Tara asked. The preparations consumed their final weeks on Earth. Kate gave notice at the coffee shop, sold most of her belongings, and said goodbyes to friends with vague explanations about an overseas research opportunity. The truth was too extraordinary to share. She kept only her most precious items: photographs of her family, her favorite books, a small collection of Earth artifacts that might help her explain human culture to curious Zenthians. Tara, meanwhile, received detailed instructions from the Council on preparing a human for interstellar travel. Kate would need several medical modifications to survive on Zenthia, specialized treatments to allow her respiratory system to process the different atmospheric composition supplements to adjust to the planet's stronger gravity, genetic therapies to protect against alien microbes. Is it dangerous? Asked Kate, as Tara explained the necessary procedures. There is some risk, Tara admitted, her tendrils drooping slightly, but our medical science is advanced. We have studied human physiology extensively. The modifications are designed to be temporary and reversible. Kate nodded, taking a deep breath. All right, let's do this. The medical procedures took place over several days in Tara's apartment, transformed into a sterile field by Zenthian technology. Kate endured injections, genetic therapies, cellular modifications with remarkable stoicism. Each night, Tara held her, monitoring her vital signs, ensuring the changes were integrating properly. You are extraordinary, Tara told her as Kate recovered from the final treatment. Kate managed a weak smile. Just stubborn, Mom always said that was my best and worst quality. As the departure date approached, Tara completed her final mission reports, comprehensive analyses of human governance, economic systems, social structures, and technological development. Each report now informed by deeper understanding, each observation enriched by personal experience. Kate packed and repacked her small allowance of personal items, agonizing over choices. What would best represent Earth to an alien civilization? What would she most need to feel connected to home when surrounded by the unfamiliar? The night before their departure, they stood on the balcony, looking at the stars. Soon we will be up there, said Kate, her voice quiet with wonder. Looking back at Earth, Tara followed her gaze. The blue planet will appear as just another light from Zenthia, but we will know what it contains. Kate turned to her. Are you nervous about bringing me home? Tara considered the question, her skin shifting through thoughtful patterns. Yes, she admitted, but not for the reasons the Council would understand. I am not concerned about scientific protocols or contamination risks. I worry about your happiness there. About whether my world will see what I see in you. Kate leaned against her, the human warmth now familiar and precious. You showed me that being alien doesn't mean being unable to connect. I hope I can show your people the same. The extraction point was a clearing in a forest park outside the city. At midnight, Tara led Kate through the trees to a small meadow. The night was clear, stars visible above the dark silhouettes of pine trees. A gentle wind rustled the branches, carrying the scent of earth and growing things. Will we be able to see it coming? Asked Kate, setting down her small bag of belongings. Tara shook her head. It will not be visible until the last moment. Our ships use displacement technology rather than conventional propulsion. They do not travel through space so much as step between points. Kate nodded, trying to process this final piece of alien technology among the many she had learned about. The last month had been a crash course in Zenthian science culture, language, and biology. Her head swam with information, but her determination never wavered. Tara checked her communication device. The extraction is scheduled for exactly 12 minutes from now. They stood together in the clearing, holding hands. Kate, in warm clothes for the cool night. Tara, in her true form, no longer hidden by the perception filter. Her blue skin glowed softly in the darkness, tendrils moving gently in the night breeze. I should warn you, Tara said, the transportation experience can be disorienting for those unaccustomed to it. You may experience momentary sensory confusion. Kate squeezed her hand. I've experienced plenty of that since meeting you, she joked. I think ill-manage. The minutes ticked by. Stars wheeled slowly overhead. The forest breathed around them. Two beings from different worlds standing on the edge of history. It is time, said Tara, finally, her skin illuminating slightly brighter with anticipation. Kate took a deep breath, clutching Tara's hand tighter. I love you, she said. Whatever happens next, whatever your world thinks of me, remember that. Tara's skin bloomed with colors of deep affection, patterns so complex and beautiful that Kate wished she could fully see them with human eyes. I love you too, Tara replied, using the human phrase that had no direct Zenthian equivalent. I will remember. A subtle change in the air pressure, a faint humming that was felt rather than heard. The clearing illuminated with soft light, seemingly from everywhere and nowhere. At once Kate gasped, looking around for the source. Hold tight, said Tara, wrapping a protective arm around Kate's waist. It begins. The world around them seemed to fold, the trees, the sky, the ground all bending inward, like a closing book. Kate felt a moment, a vertigo, a sensation of being everywhere and nowhere. Then darkness, complete and absolute. When awareness returned, Kate found herself in a transparent chamber. Tara beside her, still holding her hand. Beyond the clear walls spread a vista so alien and beautiful that Kate momentarily forgot to breathe. Vast crystal structures rose in impossible formations, catching and refracting light in colors Kate had never seen before. Buildings or natural formations she couldn't tell merged seamlessly with the landscape. The sky was a deep purple, 3 moons of different sizes hanging like jewels against the alien heavens. Figures moved in the distance, tall blue forms gliding with inhuman grace. Zenthia, whispered Tara, her voice filled with complex emotions. My home. Kate stared, trying to absorb the impossible beauty before her. Your world is amazing, she managed finally. The chamber door opened, revealing 3 Zenthians waiting outside. Taller than Tara, their skin patterns formal and official. Their tendrils moved in synchronized patterns that Kate recognized as formal greeting from her studies. Welcome to Zenthia, Kate Allen said, the central figure, in accented but clear English. I am Council Overseer Narration. This is an historic occasion. Kate stepped forward, summoning her courage, and performed the Zenthian greeting gesture Tara had taught her, bowing slightly with arms crossed at the wrists. I am honored by your welcome, she replied. I come in peace and friendship to learn and to share. The overseer studied her with obvious curiosity, tendrils rippling with scientific interest. You are the first human to set foot on our world, the first to volunteer for cross-species cultural exchange. Your adaptation to our environment appears successful. Initial readings show Kate managed a smile, grateful for Tara's steadying presence beside her. Feeling well, the view alone was worth the trip. The Zenthians exchanged glances, their tendrils moving in patterns Kate could not yet read. Humor the overseer noted. An interesting response to a significant scientific milestone. You will find Kate responds to many situations with humor, Tara explained. It is a human trait that serves multiple social and psychological functions. The overseer nodded. We have prepared accommodations for observation and integration. Representative Webb will guide you to the adaptation center, where you will rest and adjust to our gravity and atmosphere. Your formal introduction to the council will occur after a suitable period. Kate looked at Tara. Will we be staying together? The question created a ripple of communication among the Zenthian skin patterns, flickering rapidly. Tara spoke before the overseer could respond. The human requires familiar presence during adaptation. She explained, her scientific tone not quite hiding her emotional investment. Separation would introduce unnecessary variables to the observational data. The overseer considered this logic, tendrils moving in thoughtful patterns. Very well, Representative Webb, you will maintain proximity to the subject during initial adaptation. Report any anomalies immediately. As they followed the Zenthians from the arrival chamber, Kate whispered to Tara. Subject. Tara leaned close. Scientific terminology, she explained. They will learn. We will teach them. The adaptation center was a large crystalline structure with views of the alien cityscape. The interior was a compromise between Zenthian design and accommodations for human comfort surfaces that appeared hard. Crystal actually yielded slightly to touch temperature, and lighting adjusted to human preferences. The gravity, too, seemed calibrated to ease Kate's transition. They were given adjoining chambers connected by a transparent wall that could be made opaque for privacy. Kate explored the space, touching the strange materials, examining the alien technology. Excitement overtook exhaustion as she peppered Tara with questions. The next days passed in a blur of medical examinations, orientation, sessions, and cultural briefings. Kate was studied as intensively as she studied her surroundings. Blood samples were taken, cognitive tests administered, behavioral observations recorded. Zenthian scientists monitored her adaptation to their world. With meticulous precision, Tara remained by her side, explaining, translating, supporting. Kate found the gravity slightly heavier than Earth's, requiring more effort for movement. The atmosphere, though modified in her living quarters, had a strange sweet scent and felt thicker in her lungs. The food synthesized to meet human nutritional needs while remaining safe for her modified digestive system was bland but edible. Kate took the news of another Zenthian on Earth with remarkable calm. She stood in Tara's kitchen preparing dinner, her hands steady as she chopped vegetables. So your sister just showed up. That's a big deal, right? Tara paced the apartment, her tall human form moving with barely contained energy. It is unprecedented. Liana has always been curious, but to defy the council to come here. She stopped, looking at Kate. This meeting, it will be historic. No human has ever knowingly met multiple Zenthians. Kate smiled, adding the vegetables to a pot. The pressure is on then. I should have worn something nicer. Tara marveled at Kate's ability to find humor in the situation. Her human companion continued to surprise her. This capacity to adapt, to face the extraordinary with equanimity. It was a trait her species had not fully documented in their studies of humanity. A chime at the door announced Liana's arrival. Tara felt a ripple of anxiety beneath her perception filter. Kate squeezed her hand briefly before Tara moved to open the door. Liana entered, her human disguise still in place. She was taller than Tara in her human form, with darker hair and eyes that held the analytical sharpness characteristic of their creche group. She surveyed the apartment, noting, the modifications, the blending of Zenthian and human elements. You must be, Kate said, Kate stepping forward with an extended hand. A human greeting. Tara has told me about you. Liana hesitated before taking the offered hand. I'm pleased to meet you, Kate. Alan, Tara has shared much about you as well. The three sat in the living area, an awkward triangle of different expectations. Kate served tea, a human custom Tara had grown to appreciate. The steam rose between them as silence stretched. Liana spoke, first addressing Kate directly. You know what we truly are? Yes, Kate replied. I know Tara is a Zenthian scientist here to study humans. I know you're her Kresh's sister. I know this meeting breaks probably a dozen rules. Liana turned to Tara. Your reports mentioned human directness, but experiencing it is different. She returned her attention to Kate. Would you be comfortable if we revealed our true forms? Kate nodded, setting down her teacup. Of course I'd like that. Tara and Liana exchanged glances then. Simultaneously, they reached for their perception filters. The air in the apartment shimmered as two 7-foot-tall blue-skinned beings appeared where the human women had sat. Their tendrils moved gently in the air, responding to the emotional currents. Between them, Liana's skin was a deeper blue than Tara's, with more pronounced ridges along her forearms. A common variation among Zenthians. Kate smiled, taking in the sight of the two aliens in her living room. This is amazing, she said. You look similar, but different, like human siblings, but more so. Liana studied Kate, her skin showing patterns of scientific curiosity, bright yellows and intellectual greens. May I ask why you were not afraid? When Tara revealed herself to you, Kate considered the question. Most humans would have been afraid, I suppose, but Tara had already shown me who she was. The blue skin and tendrils didn't change that. Liana's tendrils rippled with surprise, but our physical differences are significant. Our biology, our origins, everything about us is alien to you? Kate shrugged a human gesture that both Zenthians found endlessly fascinating in its casual dismissal. I'm not saying I wasn't shocked, but fear and shock are different things. I was surprised by how Tara looked, but I already cared about who she was. Liana turned to Tara, her skin showing complex patterns that Kate could not yet read, but that Tara understood completely. Fascination, disbelief, reevaluation. Her Kresh sister was recalibrating her entire understanding of human capacity for acceptance. The evening progressed with Liana asking Kate dozens of questions about her experiences with Tara, about human relationships, about her understanding of Zenthian culture. Kate answered honestly, sometimes with humor, sometimes with thoughtfulness. Always with the openness that had first drawn Tara to her. As the night deepened, Liana finally asked the question Tara had been dreading. Do you love her, Kate? Met the alien scientist's gaze without hesitation. Yes, I do, and do you understand what that means for her mission? For her future, Kate glanced at Tara, then back to Liana. I understand there's no clear path forward, that her people might not accept this, that we might have limited time together, but I'd rather have this time with her than wonder what might have been. Liana's skin rippled with deep purple tones of respect. This human understands sacrifice. Tara, a concept our people value highly. Later, after Kate had gone to bed, Tara and Liana stood by the window looking out at the city lights. Their tendrils moved in old patterns, a form of communication more subtle than words used between Kresh siblings. She is remarkable, Liana admitted, her skin showing honest appreciation. The council does not understand what you have discovered here. Tara waited, knowing her sister was processing, working toward a conclusion. The data you have gathered through this connection is unlike anything in our archives. Liana continued. The insights into human emotional bonding, social structures, value systems, they are far more nuanced than our previous studies. Will you report me? Tara asked finally. Liana was silent for a long moment, her skin cycling through thoughtful patterns. No, but I will report my observations about human capacity for interspecies acceptance. I will support your research approach without revealing the personal aspects. Relief washed over Tara in waves of light blue. Thank you, sister. Liana turned to her. I did not understand until I saw you together. The connection between you is not contaminating your research, it is enhancing it. But the council will need time to accept this new paradigm. What about when my mission concludes? Tara asked the question that haunted her nights, that I cannot answer. Liana admitted. But I will advocate for you. When I return, I will begin preparing the council for new perspectives on human-Zenthian relations. It was more than Tara had hoped for. An ally in the council chambers. Someone who had seen firsthand what She had discovered someone who might help forge a path forward. Liana stayed for 3 days. She observed Tara and Kate together. She accompanied them through the city, watching their interactions with humans. She reviewed Tara's research, noting the depths of insight that had been missing from previous Zenthian studies of Earthon. Her final evening, Liana sat with them in the apartment. Her perception filter deactivated. Her blue skin glowed softly in the dim light. "I must return tomorrow. The shuttle will be missed if I delay longer." Tara nodded, understanding the risk her sister had taken. "I am grateful for your visit, for your understanding." Kate reached across the table, taking Liana's hand, a gesture that still surprised the Zenthian scientist. "Will you come back?" she asked. Liana looked at their joined hands, a human and a Zenthian connected by simple touch. Perhaps when the council has been prepared for new possibilities, after Liana departed, returning to the moon base and eventually to Zenthia, life shifted again for Tara and Kate. They had a new hope, however small, that the future might hold possibilities beyond separation. But the countdown on Tara's mission continued relentless. 4 months remained. Then 3. The knowledge hung between them, sometimes forgotten in moments of joy, sometimes overwhelming in quiet hours. Kate had begun learning the Zenthian language, its complex tonal patterns and mathematical structure. She practiced with Tara in the evenings, her human vocal cords struggling with some of the sounds, but her determination never wavering. "Why learn a language you may never use?" asked Tara one night as they sat together in the hammock that had become their favorite resting place. Kate continued practicing the difficult greeting phrase, "Because it's part of you and I want to know all of you." For however long we have, spring arrived, bringing new life to the city. Parks bloomed with flowers. Trees budded with fresh green. Humans emerged from winter hibernation, filling outdoor spaces with energy and noise. Tara recorded it all, continuing her mission. Even as she lived this double life, researcher and partner, observer and participant. One warm evening, as they walked along the riverfront, Kate stopped suddenly, looking up at Tara. "I have an idea," she said, her eyes bright with excitement. "What if I went back with you?" Tara blinked, her perception filter hiding the surprised ripple of her tendrils. To Zenthia, Kate nodded, her hands animated as she explained. "Think about it. Your mission is to determine if humans are ready for contact with your species. What better proof than bringing a human ambassador back with you? Someone who already understands your culture, who has lived with a Zenthian, who can help bridge the gap between our worlds." Tara stared at her. It was audacious, impossible, revolutionary. No human had ever visited Zenthia. The atmospheric composition alone would require modifications for Kate to survive. The cultural shock, the biological differences, the sheer distance from her home. "It is unprecedented," she said finally. Kate grinned. "That's becoming our specialty, isn't it? Doing the unprecedented." That night, Tara could not sleep. The possibility Kate had suggested turned in her mind, revealing new facets. With each consideration, it would be dangerous politically, scientifically, personally. But it might also be brilliant. The ultimate conclusion to her research. A living demonstration of what was possible between their species. She sent a careful message to Liana outlining the concept in scientific terms, a proposed extension of the Earth observation mission, a controlled experiment in human adaptation to Zenthian environment and culture, a unique opportunity to gather data on interspecies communication from both perspectives.